Hey, good morning, all you freedom-loving patriots out there. Craig Gibson here with Sons of Liberty, and this is Constitution Coffee and Service. All right, guys, so to get this one kicked off, we're going to start with our coffee of the week, which is none other than Protectors of the Constitution. Protectors of the Constitution is a nice, rich, robust, medium roast coffee without a lot of caffeine, so it's safe to drink any time of the day. This one is made from beans from all around the globe, so it just seemed fitting for our coffee that honors our men and women in uniform who serve around the globe. So come on in, give it a try this week, and we'll be brewing it up the entire week. Also, probably Thursday or Friday, we should be getting resupplied with our other coffees like Java Grenade, Code 4, American Pride, some more Protectors, Hunter's Call, Ladder Company, and of course our two newest ones, Sheepdog and Tachycardia. Alright, so last week I told you guys this week we would be talking about really my favorite article in the Constitution, which is Article 5, the amendment process. So what is the amendment process? Well, whenever they deem it necessary, two-thirds of each house can add amendments to the Constitution. However, in the event that they don't deem it necessary, and given what the people are asking for right now, I don't see them deeming it necessary. Two-thirds of the states can come together and call for a convention. So that's 34 states have to say, hey, we need a convention. We need amendments. And then 38, it'll take 38 states to ratify, which is 3/4 of the nation. And it's making progress. It's getting there, not fast enough, because right now we absolutely need to call this convention. We need amendments right now that limit the terms of these elected officials. I mean, when you got people like Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, and I'm sure there's others that have been in politics for way too long, it's time we put some term limits on them. Now, like I said, a lot of people are pushing for this, and you can Google it or Bing or, however you pull it up. Conventionofthestates.com is a good one. There's several others out there that are real good. And some of them, they all put their own little spin on it. Pretty much, though, the consensus is that we need to put term limits. Because, when you've got somebody who's been in there for 20 plus years, still making the same dumb decisions, voting the same ridiculous ways, when they have an opportunity to show their double standard, and I don't care which side of the aisle they're on, when they can show their double standard under two presidents, separated by two other presidents, that's a problem. We saw that recently with the impeachment attempt with President Trump. A lot of the same ones that were there during the impeachment process of Bill Clinton, and we were seeing the double standard. We were seeing they believed one way in one case, but it's totally different in the other case. All right, enough. So right now, and I actually removed it by accident here. Let's see, because I knew I wasn't going to be able to remember every state that's already on board for this. But I do know that we have 15 states that have already passed legislation calling for the convention. We have another 15 who are actively pursuing it. Okay, so for the states that have actually already passed the legislation, Alaska, Arizona, Utah, North Dakota, Oklahoma, Texas, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, Indiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, and of course Tennessee. These states have already passed the legislation needed. Now we have more states that are actively pursuing this legislation this year. Washington, Nebraska, Kansas, Minnesota, Michigan, Illinois, Ohio, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, New York, just to name a few. We have states that have passed in one chamber of their state. New Mexico, South Dakota, Iowa, Wisconsin, Vermont, West Virginia, North Carolina. Guys, come on, let's do this. We can do this. As Americans, we can come together. We can get our country back on track, put the power back into the hands of the people. There is no reason these people should be staying in office and making a career of this like they have. There is no reason they should be allowed to vote themselves raises. There is no reason we should allow them to continue to get our country further and further into debt, and we have no say in it. Because big business, big corporations, lobbyists keep lining their pockets as long as they vote that helps those businesses, helps those lobbyists. You know, whether it's oil, NRA, any other number of lobbyists out there. Guys, enough is enough. We have to take responsibility for our country. That is what it means to be an American citizen, which means we need to know this Constitution. We need to know what our rights are, what our responsibilities are as Americans. And we need to take the power back. And we need to remind our elected officials that they do work for us. We don't work for them. Although you wouldn't know it by the amount of our paychecks that goes back to them to fund their pet projects, to pay for their multiple houses and their lifestyles. So, guys, if your state is not one of the 15 that has already passed legislation, please get a hold of your state reps, and tell them enough is enough. Let's get this done. Like I said, you can Google Convention of the States. There are several organizations out there that will help you, that will have online petitions. Sign them. Let's get this going, because we have to take our country back, guys. If we don't, we're going to keep seeing the corruption. You know, President Trump was voted in on Drain the Swamp. Well, he can't do it alone. We have to help, which means, you know, we need to elect people that are going to hold themselves and others accountable for their actions in the House, in the Senate, in the White House, in our state houses, in our state capitals, in our cities with our mayors. We must hold these people accountable. And the only way to do that, guys, we need to call for this Convention of the States, and we got to step up as Americans. Not as black, white, Hispanic, Asian, as Americans. It's time for us to stand up. All right, guys, Article 5. Probably one of the most important articles out there. Let's use it to our advantage. Let's do what we have the constitutional right to do. All right, so today's Constitution Coffee and Service obviously goes out to the men and women in uniform who take that oath of office, who pledge an oath to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. Guys, let's stand with them. Let's stand by that oath. And let's protect our nation against all enemies, foreign and domestic, even if it means political enemies. Those who keep doing their best to destroy our nation, to keep us divided. It is time we stand up, guys. All right. Next week, Article 6, and hopefully we'll be introducing a new coffee next week. It looks like we're going to, got shipping confirmation, so I'm excited about that. As always, faith, not fear. I know there's a lot of fear out there right now with riots and these people claiming their own little zones. Little wired this morning, getting a little tongue tied. Whether it's Chop, Chaz, Boz, whatever they want to call it. You know what? Like I said, I know there's a lot of fear out there. There's a lot of fear. Ooh, numbers on COVID-19 are rising. I'm sorry, guys. You know what? Take responsibility for yourselves. If you feel it necessary to stay home, stay home. If you feel it necessary to wear a mask, wear a mask. Wear gloves, whatever you want to do. If you feel unsafe going out because of age or health issues, hey, I understand. But guys, we need to take responsibility for our own actions. Stop dictating to our neighbors what they have to do. Let's not let our country get shut down again. Let's stand up for America. All right, guys, we will talk to you next week.